So we are also discussing this issue with my Russian colleagues. Some points will be very similar to what Johan was saying, but this is not because we were discussing it before. This was a coincidence. First, let's say I would like to say what we feel that is not clear to the end in this charter. The first is the role of IMFN outside of the network is well described, but there is no mention of what is the role toward the members. And I think that this role is pretty important. For example, helping to establish the model forest, helping to make strategic plan. Many starting model forests, they cannot do it themselves, or they have many difficulties. So I would suggest to put a point like that. The second question which was raised was the role of the state in the whole system. The model forest is based on partnership, and this neutral platform is extremely important. Let's make a lot of difference. And then, but we are meeting in 2 points the government. The one is that a whole structure is encouraged in Canadian government, and we don't know exactly what is influence of the government, what is influence of the network. And the second, that a model forest should be proposed by state agency. In some places this is okay, but in another this could be quite risky. I would suggest that it would be better if, let's say, application is done by partnership, but supported by state agency, without saying which state agency. In some places this could be State Forest Service, in another will be another, for example, about environment, or kind of Ministry of Nationalities. So this would be more healthy, at least we think like that. And about encourage of whole IMFN with Canadian government, this is something, maybe this is to be discussed. Right now it's a good solution, but is it a good solution with increasing number of model forests, increasing ambition? This is something, the question mark. Then the next story is this networking committee. I has a pleasure and honor to work within this committee. I think it is very important committee, and there were quite much has been done. However, this networking committee also, it's not only networking, but we have met many strategic issues. Maybe not so strategic as it has been set up in front of this panel of advisory committee, but smaller strategy. But many of them was like that. And my concern is that this is the only way to get into this committee is election by the regional network. I see that this is limit capacity of this committee, and it should be also recruited simply by nomination or invitation. This will be especially important if there is a starting group and there is very few model forests and there is no real network. So it's hard to make a proper election, or sometimes there are conflict. And another situation is that someone is experienced but is not in the network. So I think that it should be the option that expert panels invited by a secretariat. And then I have also the same what Johan was saying, that it is unclear relationship between networking committee and advisory committee. The linking person is one person, and this is, let's say, in our case now it is Brian. One could imagine that, let's say, Brian is nominated to be governor of Yukon or president of Canada, prime minister, sorry, yeah. And then everything is starting from, maybe not from zero, but it's sensitive to be the one person contact. So I feel that it should be a kind of or common meeting or more people to avoid this situation of potential isolation of thinking, especially that advisory committee is meeting so rarely and networking committee is meeting frequently. So networking committee is taking role of this small strategy as well. Generally, what I like very much with this charter, it's that this is light, it's not heavy, it's not very demanding, and is proposing light organization. It is, I think it's very important in a movement like our movement, which is built up on a partnership. And I'm observing international organization, and several of them working in Russia. And I would like to state that they are not very efficient, and the efficiency of the model forest network is incomparably higher. And there are two networks which are making difference. It is FSC in our place and International Model Forest Network. And a huge giant like World Bank or UNDP are really not impressive. So I think we should keep certain lightness in our system to be this voluntary and neutral organization. Thank you very much.